Russia says 90% of trade with China is now settled in national currencies, effectively ditching the US dollar. Russia has increasingly shifted its trade with China to be settled in national currencies, primarily the Russian ruble and the Chinese yuan, rather than the US dollar. This shift reflects a broader strategy by both nations to reduce reliance on the US dollar in international trade, as part of their efforts to safeguard their economies from potential Western sanctions and to strengthen economic ties. The move towards de-dollarization in trade is part of a growing trend, particularly in light of Russia's need to circumvent financial restrictions imposed by Western countries following geopolitical tensions. This change also aligns with China's long-term goal of internationalizing the yuan and reducing dependence on the dollar in global finance. By conducting a significant portion of their trade in their own currencies, Russia and China aim to enhance financial sovereignty and reduce exposure to risks associated with dollar fluctuations and potential sanctions. Now the question is, what will be the benefits to both countries? There can be several benefits for Russia and China in settling their trade in national currencies. Number 1. Avoiding Western sanctions. The biggest advantage for Russia is that it can avoid the effects of sanctions imposed by Western countries. If trade is conducted in US dollars, the United States can impose sanctions on those transactions, but by trading in national currencies, these countries can protect themselves from the impact of such sanctions. Financial sovereignty. Both countries can strengthen their financial sovereignty. By reducing reliance on the US dollar, they can safeguard their economies from uncertainties in international financial markets and fluctuations in the value of the dollar. Improved economic relations. Trading in national currencies can further stabilize economic relations between the two countries. This will promote their economic cooperation and increase mutual trust. International status of the yuan. For China, this move can help promote the yuan as an international currency. If more and more countries begin trading in Chinese yuan, its acceptance and strength on a global level will increase. Challenging the dominance of the dollar. This move is a step toward challenging the dominance of the US dollar in global trade. If other countries follow this path, it could lead to a significant shift in the global financial system. Now, what will be the loss for USA? This is the big question. The shift by Russia and China to settle their trade in national currencies could lead to several losses for the United States. The biggest loss will be the decline in the dollar's global status. If major countries like Russia and China reduce their reliance on the US dollar for trade, the global status of the dollar could weaken. As the dollar's role as a global reserve currency diminishes, the financial power of the United States could decrease. Impact on the U.S. economy. A reduced demand for the dollar could negatively affect the U.S. economy. If the dollar is used less in global trade, it could create challenges in financial markets, increase the burden of national debt, and potentially lead to higher interest rates. Reduced effectiveness of sanctions. If countries like Russia and China increasingly bypass the U.S. dollar, the impact of U.S. sanctions will diminish. The United States may lose its ability to economically pressure other countries through sanctions. Loss of political influence. The reduced use of the dollar on a global scale could also weaken the political influence of the United States. The strength of the dollar helps the U.S. advance its interests globally and influence international issues, and a decline in this power could undermine America's leadership on the world stage. Economic stability risks. If more countries move away from the US dollar in favor of their national currencies, it could create instability in US financial markets, which may have broader negative effects on the global economy. These potential losses could collectively challenge the US economy and its financial and political dominance on the global stage.